Kevin had gone to LA for business. And I hired a PI. Yes, I did. I hired a PI to follow my husband. And this guy is telling me that Kevin is in Miami with the girl.
But what I needed at the time, because I was running 100 miles an hour, and I was so much of a strong support structure for her and all the dreams that she wanted to accomplish, I needed somebody for me. And my new offspring, my daughter, who is a beautiful, beautiful spirit, she was not a oops baby. She was not a mistake, baby.
This story is a straight-up roller coaster. Emotional, dramatic, and packed with heartbreak no one ever saw coming. Imagine this. A man stands beside a woman for decades while she builds her empire from nothing. Together, they rise to fame, taste wealth, and live the high life of power and luxury. But then, out of nowhere, he flips the script and betrays her in the coldest way possible. And now, he's flat out broke, desperate, and trying to crawl back to the same woman he once tossed aside. And here's where it gets even crazier. The biggest twist doesn't come from gossip or rumors, it comes from their own son. Kevin Jr. is finally speaking out, and what he's revealing has everyone in shock. According to him, Kevin Hunter is allegedly trying to reunite with Wendy Williams after losing everything. No money, no fame, no backup plan, just pure regret.
Not gonna take a lot of time because, I'm getting emotional. And I told myself I wasn't gonna do this.
But this isn't your average breakup. It's a full-blown story of betrayal, ego, and karma coming for payback. It shows how fast life can flip when arrogance takes control. Because now, the same man who once acted like Wendy was replaceable is realizing the harsh truth.
A situation over the 12 years that I've been here entertaining you on television. Welcome to Hot Topics, Sharina Hudson. Getting out of my car with my money. Good morning, Journey.
She was the foundation, the strength, the whole empire he thought he could survive without. What a twist! Kevin Jr. dropped the bomb that his dad had a long-running side relationship. But before we break down how he exposed it and why it hit so deep, we gotta rewind the clock. Because this whole disaster didn't start with begging for forgiveness. It started with loyalty, sacrifice, and a woman who gave everything to the wrong man. Before the wigs, the purple chair, and the whole Hot Topics empire, Wendy Williams was out here grinding hard. She was fighting tooth and nail to earn her spot in radio, while people in the industry laughed behind her back, calling her loud, difficult, and way too much. But right beside her was Kevin, or at least that's what everyone thought from the outside. Kevin wasn't just her mother, he was her manager, her so-called protector, the one she trusted to handle business like a boss. Wendy handed it all to him, her career, her money, her voice, even her future. She gave him power, let him make the big decisions, and believed they were building something unstoppable together. For years, she truly thought they were side by side, creating an empire that couldn't be shaken. And no one can deny it. Wendy worked harder than anyone in the game. She carried that show on her back every single day, barely resting, pushing through the pain, the drama, and the personal chaos, all because she believed it would secure her family's future. But behind the spotlight, the cracks were already showing. Kevin wasn't just managing Wendy's career, he was allegedly managing a few other women too. The rumors started small, whispers here and there, but they never went away. People were talking, stories were spreading, but Wendy, loyal to the very end, stayed. She forgave, ignored the gossip, and tried to hold her family together even as her world started falling apart right in front of her. Until Wendy just couldn't take another second of it. The truth came crashing down like a hurricane, the ultimate betrayal exposed for everyone to see. Kevin had allegedly been living a full double life for over 10 years, a secret relationship, a whole child, and to top it all off, the money keeping that hidden life afloat was allegedly Wendy's. That revelation shattered everything she believed about her marriage. When Wendy finally walked away, it wasn't just a split, it was a public heartbreak of epic proportions. Her pain was everywhere. Headlines, talk shows, memes, gossip blogs, you name it.
It was not till death do us part.
And it wasn't just an incident. I mean, the relationship that Kevin had with this woman went on for...
No. Kevin was a serial cheater. Kevin had different mistresses depending on, the part of his life.
And through all that chaos, Kevin Hunter strutted off looking like he'd won. He had millions in hand, a fancy home, and monthly alimony checks most people couldn't even imagine. Back then, he didn't look worried or ashamed. If anything, he looked proud, like he thought he had beaten the system. But karma, it never misses. It just waits for the right moment to strike. When Wendy's show ended and her health struggles became public, everything flipped upside down. The money stopped rolling in, the alimony checks dried up, and once Wendy's finances went under legal guardianship, Kevin's access to her fortune was cut off for good. That's when the panic hit hard. Kevin started running back and forth to court, filing case after case, claiming he was broke, in debt, and struggling to survive. But the judges weren't buying it. Every single lawsuit got tossed out like it was nothing. One by one, his legal battles crashed and burned, and his luxury lifestyle began to crumble right before his eyes. The mansions, gone. The luxury rides, sold off or repossessed. Bills stacked higher than ever, and the man who once lived large off Wendy's empire was now barely staying afloat. And the woman he left Wendy for? Sources say she wasn't built for the broke life. Once the money disappeared, she reportedly realized quick that struggle love wasn't the dream she signed up for.
That's when things allegedly got real messy behind closed doors. Because when the money runs dry, the truth shows up, and it's never cute. The fantasy life they built completely crumbled, leaving nothing but tension, blame, and pure regret. And here's where Kevin Jr. steps in. This is the twist that changes everything. He's been caught in the middle of this storm since day one, watching his mom break down, watching his dad spiral out, all while trying to hold himself together in the chaos. He's seen it all, the pain, the downfall, the heartbreak, up close and personal. People close to Kevin Jr. say he's been carrying some serious emotional weight for years. Anger, confusion, disappointment, even guilt. He watched how the betrayal crushed Wendy, not just emotionally, but physically too. He saw his father chasing money and pride instead of taking responsibility. And now that Kevin Jr.'s finally speaking up, the world's listening. Because his words aren't just exposing family secrets, they're showing what really happens when loyalty turns to betrayal and love turns into straight-up survival. Kevin Hunter reportedly revealed that his dad is now begging Wendy to take him back. Yes, begging. He's allegedly been reaching out, trying to reconnect like the years of humiliation and cheating never even happened. Can you believe that? The same man who dragged her way to name through the mud, flaunted his new life like a trophy, and even tried to silence her with lawsuits. Now he's the one asking for another chance. And why? Because he's broke, lonely, and realizing fast that life without Wendy's name attached isn't so sweet. The man who once thought he didn't need her is finally learning how cold it feels when the fame, the money, and the love all disappear. But the saddest part? Wendy can't save anyone right now, not even if her heart wanted to. She's in the fight of her life, battling to reclaim her health, her freedom, and control over her own future. That guardianship stripped away her independence, and she's been pushing every single day just to take her life back. So when Kevin Jr. hears that his dad's trying to slide back into the picture with his hand out, you already know it doesn't sit right with him, not after everything his mom's been through. Sources close to the family say Kevin Jr. sees right through it, calling it pure emotional manipulation. He reportedly believes Kevin Hunter only wants Wendy back because he's got nowhere else to go and nothing left to gain. And honestly, who could blame him for thinking that? Because this doesn't look like love, it screams desperation. Especially when you remember, Kevin wasn't there when Wendy was sick. He wasn't there when her world collapsed. He only showed up now that he's the one in need. He didn't come back when she needed strength or support. He came back when the cash disappeared. And that says everything. The emotional weight of it all is heavy. Wendy spent decades building an empire that lifted up everyone around her, including the same man who betrayed her trust. And now, even in one of the hardest seasons of her life, people still look at her like she's some kind of safety net, not a human being dealing with her own pain and limits. For Kevin Jr., this whole mess rips open wounds that never truly healed. It forces him to relive the downfall of his family, the heartbreak, the chaos, the public humiliation. Now he's stuck having to protect his mom from the very person who caused most of her suffering, and that's a weight no son should have to carry. And let's not forget, Kevin Jr. has fought his own battles too. He's faced homelessness, mental health struggles, and the pressure of growing up in the spotlight while the world watched his family fall apart in headlines. So seeing his dad suddenly show up again, only when everything goes downhill, cuts deep. It's not just disappointing, it's infuriating. Because what message does that send? That loyalty only matters when the money's flowing? That love and vows are only real when life's easy? What a sad reflection of how fast people switch up when the spotlight fades. Now the public's completely divided. Some folks are preaching forgiveness, saying everyone deserves a second chance, that maybe hitting rock bottom can humble a person. But others, they're not buying it one bit. They see it for exactly what it looks like, straight up desperation. A man who torched every bridge he ever had, now trying to tiptoe across the ashes he left behind. Someone who underestimated the woman who carried him for years and is only realizing her worth now that it's way too late. Kevin Hunter really believed Wendy would always be there, no matter how badly he messed up, no matter how deep the betrayal cut. But here's the truth. Wendy doesn't owe him anything. Not her time, not her forgiveness, and definitely not her protection. After everything she survived, she's earned her peace, not more pain. If anything, this whole mess proves that karma doesn't need to get loud. It just clears the fog and lets everyone see what's real. Kevin's now living without Wendy's safety net, and let's be honest, it's not a good look. The luxury, the status, the spotlight, all gone. Now he's facing life raw and unfiltered, realizing the hard way what happens when the person who carried you isn't there to catch you anymore. And as for Wendy, her story isn't about going back, it's about taking her power back. It's about healing, finding freedom, and finally living life on her terms. The real question isn't whether Wendy will forgive Kevin, it's whether Kevin can handle the truth that the woman he broke down was the only one who ever truly held him up. Because sometimes you don't recognize someone's value until everything they built for you is gone, and by then, it's way too late. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Star Watch for more jaw-dropping updates and deep dives into stories just like this.